Hello, my name is Maggie, and today I'll be teaching you all about hearing and deafness. So what is hearing? Hearing is not that simple. It's a super complex process that allows us to hear and make sense of the world around us. And you don't actually hear with your ears, you hear with your brain. Your ears just convert the sound waves to signals that your brain can then understand and interpret as sound. How does it all work? It starts with the outer ear. Now the outer ear has kind of a funny shape, with tons of ridges and valleys, but it's actually designed in a way that will capture sound waves and direct them down into the auditory canal. The auditory canal leads to the eardrum, which is a membrane that vibrates when sound waves hit it, like a drum. Past the eardrum, in the middle ear, there are the three tiniest bones in your entire body, the malleus, incus, and the stapes, also known as the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. And these are all connected to each other. The vibration of the eardrum turns the sound waves into mechanical waves, and this makes the bones vibrate. The last of these three bones, the stapes, is connected to the cochlea, which is a fluid-filled tube that has tons of tiny little hair cells inside it. The vibration of the stapes also vibrates the fluid in the cochlea, which makes the little hairs ripple. Kind of like how seaweed waves in the ocean when a wave passes over it. When these hairs move, it starts a chain of signals and a release of chemicals that converts the mechanical signal into an electrical one, which is carried via auditory nerve to the brain. So with all these steps, it's no wonder that things sometimes don't always run as smoothly. So there are actually many kinds and causes of deafness, but the two most common types are conductive and sensory neural hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss is a problem with the mechanics. If there's a rupture or something in the way, the sound doesn't get properly transmitted from the outer ear to the cochlea. This kind of deafness is the second most common of all kinds of deafness, but it may be temporary. For example, if you have an ear infection, fluid builds up in the middle ear, where the bones are, and they wouldn't quite be able to vibrate right when you're hearing. This would only be a temporary hearing loss though, as when the infection goes away, the fluid clears up and you can hear better. Sensory neural hearing loss is the most common of all types of hearing loss, and it occurs when the sensory cells in the cochlea are damaged or missing. This could be due to many different causes, from exposure to loud noises, diseases, genetics, or aging. For example, there's a region in your DNA that codes for a protein that connects different cells together, and thus allows the chemicals to pass through to deliver the message to your brain. Out of 50 to 300 million base pairs, or pairs of letters in your DNA, in each of your 23 chromosomes, a deletion of a single G in this region shifts a tiny section, and this protein isn't produced correctly, leading to deafness. From listening to loud music to ear infections to tiny errors in coding, there are so many causes in deafness. Thank you for listening, watching, and I hope you learned something.